This is still April 28th, 2026. Been a long, horrible day. Horrible day. Assholes everywhere. I would like to know, what is your people's problem? What is your problem? You know, when the case first started, told you the first month of the case, some little old white man came up to me and went, for every idle word you telling us, I'll turn it on you. You try to leave Dave Ellis your child molester. I'm like, who are you? You know that bruise on your leg? I use sodium pentothal. No, I used a hypnotic drug. Told me to say, he said, you know what he said? No, I never met him. He stabbed me in my sleep. You know how illegal that is? Something about a wrong nightgown bending over and probably accidentally seeing my butt in a life of pain because of it. Try to leave Dave and threatens me again. I go home to a legally booked house. Dave verifies I'm dressed modestly. They only made fun of the back of my knees, and I didn't even own that nightgown back then. The guy made the whole thing up. But he admitted he worked for Dave. He was drugging me up and telling me to say lies. These people even came up and threatened me in front of the police and the FBI. What? What? That if she leaves Dave, you gotta make sure she has nothing. She works for everything, and when she gets done working for everything, she still has nothing. We don't care what you do. You make sure she has nothing when she's done. You have to steal everything. Why? He was the one cheating. Why? See, this has got down to the point. We're 7.5 years later. Why? What are you doing? People today, even back then, where Dave beat me on the stairs. He admitted I recorded him that he beat me, chicken wing my arm, damaged my ribcage, punched me in the stomach several times, threatened to kill men, stabbed me through the heart. I even tried to not answer my phone again. And a blonde lady showed up, tried to tell people she was a psychiatrist, never seen her before, and she was seen with the people that said they were the ones bashed on my head. The ones that were killer, the Florida drug cartel. Never seen her before. I doubt she's a psychiatrist. She's a killer. She would run around telling people, if she tells on Dave for beating her, will say she hurt herself. So I taped Dave admitting to beating me. I thought, don't play with me, bitch. These people would turn around and pull every stunt in the world. Dave's the one cheating. This whole thing is a con to extort money from the government. You didn't get the money. It's 8 years later. What are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? Today, somebody in the distance said those people were honestly taped saying that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. I'm like, yeah. December 1st, 25, Walmart 62. Michelle had came in and told that investigator that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. They all were. Every one of them that walked in that office, they were in there scamming that agent. People were talking like that today. That agent realized they were all in there scamming him. Does he realize it? And they were just in there to steal from him. And that the doctor from before was not one of my worst for them, and they had lied. And they didn't care. The doctor from before was not one of hers. He works for them, and they had lied. He was actually one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. And the guy, Pete, that was in his office, running in his mouth, she don't even know who he is. He's just some guy Dave hired on his own. Dave hired all these people on his own. Dave hired them all. You get the idea? Portage County Sheriff's didn't know about it, Ravenna Police. Nobody did. Prosecutor's office, because Dave hired him on his own. Get the idea? It was a scam to extort money from the government. They could have killed me at any time. My God, they were getting in my house, apparently stabbing me as I walked by with hypnotic drugs where you thought you bumped into something bit you, stung you. And you go sit down in the room and go dizzy and black and wake up with bruises, throwing up, infected. Sometimes all you did is take a shower, get it dried off, go to bed, wake up with the same thing, severe personal infection. You think the well water's killing you. It's orange and there's even stuff in it. And I mean, you're thinking it's killing you. And here it's just iron, rust. Had it tested. And here you think it's killing you. And it's not. It's rapists. Drugging you, beating, raping you, drugging you up until you say stuff, photoshopping, washing, I found out. In another room, rapist tapes. Fake, dirty doctors breaking HIPAA. I mean, it's crazy. And take that scam into the FBI and they could trick an agent out of money. I want you to think about that. They thought they could trick an agent out of money. They were all in there, like Ron and Lisa had told an FBI agent before March 27th, 25. He announced he got it out of that family. That when he asked him, why on earth would you say it offended you when that minister called her a faker 6 months later, and she wasn't even at that accident when your kid got killed. She wasn't even there. And 6 months later, he just calls her a faker? Why would you say it offended you? Said didn't even concern them. They lied about everything in there. They were all lying. Made it all up to get away with this. They all were lying to the FBI. To extort money. Why? Because what did Mary's niece confess to September 30th, 25? This whole thing was her family's debt to drug dealers. That's why they did all this. Where they talked about the poor family that was in debt, they were all doing it for. The family that was in debt to drug dealers. It was where Anita and Pam were talking. Mary's niece, Michelle, was willing to kill someone just to date Dave. The opportunity to date someone like Dave. She was willing to kill someone. Dave was excited. He never had anybody willing to kill someone. Just to date him. That poor family is in debt, needs Dave's help. That's Mary's Katie's mom. Anita is her aunt. And then that Michelle Dave dated was her family member, and Henry Mafia apparently is her dad. They're all related. Get the idea? Yeah. Get the idea. And it was their debt to drug dealers. And they thought they could pull a fast one on the FBI. I told you, strange hated the government. They thought that FBI was a bunch of dumbasses. Walk in there, them bawling. You know, today we went down to Carl's old farm, let him walk around. Boy, that was a hot mess. We stopped at a gas station. Well, there were some girls outside. That church really thinks we're all dumb. They can't go around telling us that they had right to break in or have somebody break in their home and set up on cameras. We all know better than that one. We all know everything can be photoshopped like that shower scene. And when you're drugged, you're sleepwalking. And that Katie telling people that she had threatened her and she hadn't even been part of her church in 23 years and it was 15 when the case started. Then she said she was mad because she didn't even talk to her and she hadn't been part of that church in 23 years and then 15 when the case started, and then she's getting even with her because she didn't talk to her and she didn't even go to her church. Nobody fell for that. Nobody fell for any of this. Who do those church people think they are? Oh, they think they're God, and they think you're all a bunch of retards. Retards, that's what they think of you. Or they wouldn't have tried it with you, how dumb you are. They think you're a bunch of retards that should worship them as gods. That's why. Okay, then I go in the gas station. There's men in the distance talking that somebody took $5 million plus from a fund, and they better be coming up with it and paying it back. Wasn't you, Agent John? Was it? Was it? Is that what's going on? Is it? Another guy. Now, earlier today, I always told you, with Carl and I was fortunate enough to marry my best friend. It's so much different than with Dave. I love Dave with all my heart. Every breath I took, and with every heartbeat. I was with him 33 years. Would have been 34 when it was over if these people wouldn't got involved. I would have been married 41 years this year. He had everything that God could have gave a man. He may have had to go out and work for what he had, but he had 2 wonderful jobs. We had a big retirement home with a lot of wooded land for him to hunt on. He had 3 sons that loved him, 10 grandchildren that adored him. He had a wife that loved him with all her heart, waited on him like a king, and like he was a king and like I was a servant. Made love to him all the time. Couldn't afford something, we'd save up and make sure he got it because it was just us. I loved him with everything I got. Now, Dave, our relationship was different than mine and Carl's. Mine and Carl's is sort of like a sweet love. But with Dave, it was controlling. Where I say I loved him with all my heart, there's a thing called Stockholm Syndrome. You make yourself believe you're in love with the person that kidnapped you or is harming you. It's not that the feelings aren't real, because they are very real. But it's how you survive their abuse. It's called Stockholm. It's a defense your brain does to live through something horrible. Dave would make love to me all the time. He'd have a bad day, he'd beat the hell out of me. Be sorry. First he'd try to blame it on me. Then he'd be sorry. Then he'd try to make it up to me, promise it'd never happen again. A year later, too, out of the blue, bad day. Beat me again. You never know when his trigger would go off. And in between, it would be magical. It was control. It was passionate, exciting, dangerous, harmful, fearful, excruciating, all in one. Lived like that for 33 years on eggshells. Okay. And you can't tell me he doesn't beat his new wife. And if he doesn't beat her, then he's afraid they'll kill him there. If he does. Because of men that beat women, they don't stop. Because they hurt things that are smaller than them. Dave had everything that a God could have gave a man. He had good jobs, big money, beautiful home, a wife that loved him, grandchildren that adored him, children that loved him. Everything that God could have gave a man, he threw away for an 18-year-old girl in the drug cartel, for lust. And she was just using him so that they could pull a scam to extort money out of the government. They needed a Ponzi. Or November 23rd, 25, Macy's Summit Mall. We wanted to run a scam on the government to extort money from him. Her ex-husband was connected to us, so we asked him if he could do it to her. He said yes, if they made sure he got everything during the divorce. My divorce was over 9/18/19. What are these people doing? What are they doing? 9/18/19. 6.5 years ago. What are you doing? Your part of the deal was over in September 9/18/19. 2019, your deal was over with Dave. What are you doing? What are you doing? See, that's where Agent John, you know what else they said? Not only did somebody find out that they actually were doing all this just to steal from the government, and that's why they were all there. Well, see, that's where April 19th, 25, I'm in Hartville Flea Market. I got investigators around me. They said, you wouldn't believe how dumb these people are, and actually how dumb they are. Nobody ever fell for the dirty doctor scam, taping you unaware, confessing a crime, sat on it till Dave wanted a divorce. Then they could tell she was drugged and parts sounded mechanical. We all knew it was all them. And they photoshopped all over it. And so was the shower scene in the other room. The tape of Weird With Yourself, it was nothing but washing in the shower. You tell they photoshopped it. But if they were going to be that dumb, and try this with us. We told Agent John, to go up to that church and tell on her and act as dumb as these people. See, that's where the police always told me it was an act. You know, today I was, okay. Carl and I were friends for years before we started dating. We dated about 9-10 months before we got married. We've been married over a year now. We've been together almost 2 years. And we were friends for almost that time before. And the beauty of marrying your friend is you're not just in it for sex. It's not hormones. It's a sweeter kind of love. Some investigator had said Karen doesn't even know what real love is. I was married to Dave for 33 years. It was control and abuse. So, loving Carl, being married to your best friend, through this last year, these people terrorizing us, which was no call for it. We got a little rental mobile home for $900 a month. It was beautiful. You know, they said they couldn't have us there, so they had decided his family to terrorize us, so we moved. And they tried to had them threaten Carl so he'd sell his farm. An 80-year-old man, you ought to be ashamed. Scaring him that bad. Threatened to have him killed. His brother that died like 10, 15 years ago left his horse to his daughter. She had found a cat, was letting it live with the horse. Carl loved that little cat. And that horse reminds him of his brother because it was his. His son threatened to frame him for harming them. And he had someone, or he did, beat that horse. Got pictures of holes in his scratches. Poisoned that cat. Told him he was going to call the Humane Society and said Carl did it. Carl couldn't even go down his farm. He said when he found Carl, he was going to bash his head in and kill him. Or at least kidnap him and have him found incompetent. Have everything signed over to him. So we end up selling everything. It's not right. And my son Dan was nice enough to get me to deal with the Humane Society so his daughter Desi, because it was her horse, she would have got a fine. That nobody got a fine. We got it off there and got a treatment. We had to pay to put the cat down. And then his son started breaking our apartment, messing with our food, stealing stuff from our apartment, terrorizing us day and night. Phone calls, having police do well checks at 5, 6 in the morning, using the police department to abuse us. And they knew what they were doing. Instead of telling them no, they'd go ahead. And I'd be at work, and they knew I was at work and bothered me at work because they couldn't wake up Carl. And I'd get Carl up. Are you well? I'm well. There was no sense in it. You know, they do this time. That's what the police do, is just want to harass innocent people. Well, if they want to waste their department time, they can start well checking them, because I think there's something mentally wrong with them, or they wouldn't be bothering me. They can start well checking them repeatedly. I mean, if we're just going to misuse the police department to get even with people, is that what it's for? Because they said they even knew they were using them as a weapon, then don't let them. Don't let them. Don't let them. Tell them no. You're not going to use us to harass your parents. See, that's where even Brenda's friends, Brenda and Jim Ballou's kids, they're both gone now. They're not Carl's. Right on Google. After stepchildren have no rights. They can't say nothing if their mother's second or third husband gets married to somebody else after their mother dies. They have no opinion. Unless they are the legal guardian over the person because there's something wrong with them. They have no opinion what they do. Where do people think they did? Huh? Where do they think they did? They're not even his kids. They're, like the VA said, they're the nobody to him in the eyes of the law. And them saying they're going to get him away from me, they're going to kidnap him. He lives his life in fear. And they want his son Rick. They want to get him fired from his job. The VA said we have enough for a protective order with him sending all those threats and text messages. Get a protective order over Carl. You need to be moved out of here. Further. We said we tried to get a restraining order. Said restraining orders are hard to get. Protective orders are easy. We have to have intent of harm. We have more than intent. He said once we get that, I'm going to get him fired from his job. And then we can go after he's going to lose his VA benefits. She said when I get done with him, he won't have a dime for threatening you and terrorizing you. There is no call for any of this. No, there isn't. See, that's where people run around. They're to make sure she has no money. She has no one in her life. Why? Why? My divorce has been over 7 years this year. Your deal with Dave was to make sure I got everything in the divorce. Divorce was over 7 years. What are you doing? Do you know, I found out these idiots, you know how where you wear a skirt or you wear jeans, where your shirt just hits at your level, sometimes your little teeny bit of your back will show, you pull your shirt down, or your stomach show, you pull your shirt down. Yeah, I've been having people following me around saying that they want to get money if they see my back. Would you like me to wear a halter top and they can see my whole back? Huh? Because as long as the front is covered, you can wear a halter top in public. You wear shorts. See, that's where all these people are radicals and they're insane. And see, Agent John, what on earth? Those people where they said they walked in your office, as soon as I hung up the phone, They were ready with their skit. The performance of a lifetime. Now, where they said you never fell for it, I don't even know how you kept a straight face. People walking in and say they're stalking somebody on their own. That is a federal crime of illegal monitoring, cyberstalking, wiretapping. Hmm? Voyeurism, listed as sex offender. Why didn't you arrest him? Why didn't you? They told you they had the right to drug me to get the truth out of me, and they were using sodium pentothal on me, the hypnotic drugs, and told us to say it before. Why didn't you arrest them? They told you they were having me drug beat and raped. And they were trying to kill me because some minister called me a faker 15 years before. And people are saying, oh, she's mean to me, she threatened me, she hadn't been part of church in 15 years. Well, where would she do it? See, that's the whole thing. Like those girls said, well, that church is crazy. No one would fall for any of this. Well, that FBI wasn't supposed to fall for it either. Not supposed to be dumb as a box of rocks. You're not supposed to be the king of retards. See, that's where I was always told no law enforcement would fall for this bull, even those girls down in Waynesburg today. Those church people, no one had fell for this. And they were pissed listening to this today. Who do they think they are? They think they are a God of glory, and you need to kiss their butt. You're a bunch of retards that can say anything you'll fall for. Prove how dumb you are. That's what they think. They think you're a bunch of idiot people. See, that's where Agent John, that's why that lighthouse made fun of you June 7th of 23, how they fooled you with their snot days before. Publicly mocked you. Made fun of the FBI. Katie's sister Jody. And the drug dealers. They already confessed they photoshopped everything, made everything up on me, drugged me, and told me to say it before. The doctor wasn't one of mine, works for them, they had lied. And Ron and Lisa admitted that everybody was lying in that office. See, somebody said something about that today, too. About that today. That guy that said got up in that church and said he hated God, you mean Ron? He really does hate God. He was paying that agent to let all this go through all the time. You're taking payoffs, honey. The way they talk about you, you are the most evil criminal in the world. Agent John, I was always told it was an act. You know, I used to pray and beg God for help. I would beg God for my money and for everything I need, and then think I might know one day it'll come to pass. And I would plead with God. And one day, I just decided to leave it at His feet. Still ask for a remembrance of Lord. You know I need that money. Lord, you know I need help. And just a remembrance of the great burden I laid at God's feet. Some lady told me today, you know, that's one thing. When you're abused, you can see it in other people. Some officers said they could tell that I was raped before you could see it all over me. Well, the way I walked, there's a look. Well, there's a look for abuse, too. I know it. This late tell her I was mad at Carl today. I was wanting to vent, and he wasn't in the mood to hear it, which is rude. We're friends. I said I just need 2 more minutes of venting. And he got snotty. And I said, fine, I gotta go in the bank anyways. Don't bother following me. I said, you can just sit out here until I get done. I'm tired. He said, fine. And I went in, and the lady, she's like, how are you? I said, not good. And I sit down and I start telling her about my ex-husband trying to have me killed in a scamming riot. And I said, unfortunate, I married my best friend. And I said, because you're friends, first, you can open up more. She's like, I'd like to be remarried again. And she looked up and she looked away. Tears. She said, I was in an abusive relationship too. Wasn't as bad as yours. But I had to get out. Me and my child. And she looks over and she looks down. It's when you're trying not to cry. Because it's too much. And I said, and I wept. And I said, today he was being rude and it hurt my feelings. I told him just to stay out there. She's like, well, I'm sorry about that. I said, I just needed a minute. I said, these people are showing up, harassing me, and they're stalking me. She said, did you tell the police? I said, yes. She said, God can still answer your prayers. All you have to do is pray, and the money you need will come in. He can still answer your prayers, and for that safe life, and not being afraid and not being stalked. You just have to ask him for it again, and he'll give it to you. No, Agent John, I have even prayed for you. Because these people break down. They set you up to be arrested. And they were going to take you out. Now they've raped you. I even prayed for you. I hoped you get a lot of bad guys. It was supposed to be for David the Church's My God. We bypassed that with Judge Peters' group and the Kingsmen from Texas and the Michigan and the Buffalo, New York. That's where the officers that want my case think I'm amazing. I'd like a letter of thank you. New knees for me or Carl. A safer place to live my money. If that was you, it took $5 million. I want the rest of my money. And then my money coming in every month. A letter of thank you. Oh. You have no right to take it. And what they do, they will decide if that is you. But these people stalking me. Some guy said, I heard she had her husband sit out in the car while she went in the bank. Yeah, he was being an idiot. Just sit here and wait. You don't want to let me talk? You can just sit here. I'll be right back. There's nothing wrong with that big deal. Huh? When I get done with her, I'll turn her over for senior abuse. Have the social workers take him away. You will not. You can kiss my ass, and that's not abuse. That's a disagreement. And it's none of your damn business. There's no abuse there. And I found out they were cutting down the trees on that property, and I wanted it. Well, they're going to cut a lot more trees, honey. A lot more. A lot more. It's good for the woods to be thinned. Makes the other trees healthier, and they get plenty of sunshine in the soil. It's good for the woods to be thinned. Every 15, 20 years is good for it. Okay. What do you think of this? Agent John, then think of the recorded line. The recorded line attached to the case Like investigators said, he actually talks to her this way. For someone told him, "You liar." Tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me and trying to go, "You liar." Was there a camera above the bench or not? I don't know. "Say you're lying, I'll arrest you." I said, "Well, he tried to kidnap me before." And before I could say Terry Coberly seen him. Oh, come on now. Even if a church person seen him, they'd never admit to it. I met with that family in my office, the ones that said they were lying about everything. See, like they said, Lisa's father killed her kid. She wasn't even there. It didn't even concern him. Strange calling her a mean name. Of course it didn't. Or did you think it did? How stupid are you? I met with that family in my office, the liars, and all those church people that were lying. Yeah. And I know they're trying to kill you, and they say strangers lie. Or call me a faker. When he thought I was following Tim and Katie in 03. It's 2018. Said I really was sick before. You liar. And you say you're lying, I'll arrest you. He said, was there a camera about that bench or not? I don't know. You say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. You hear me? I'll arrest you. I'll put you in jail. It's like, fine, whatever. Ah. What did you submit to? Everybody knew. They were in your FBI office. You're badgering me. You're bullying me. You're obstruction of justice. You're tampering with a witness. Why? On a recorded line. Then you said, I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. Well, that's ridiculous. I almost died from medical malpractice. Medication. I said, and after a bunch of surgeries, my muscle fucked up. I said, I really was sick before. You liar. Now I met with that family in my office, the one that admitted to a federal agent they were lying, and all the church people that lied. And you didn't blame them that they were trying to kill me because of a made-up lie. Strange made-up in 03. Then you need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame them for trying to kill you. You actually said that on a recorded line, like they said in Investigator. I almost fell out of my chair the way you talked to her. I said I really was sick before. You liar, you say you were faking, or I'll leave you there. But they've tried to kill me, so they've tried to kill me, so say it or I'll leave you there. Please don't let them kill me, then say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let them kill me. Now, I want you to, we're going to stop with the recorded line. You know how dumb these people are? Okay. I went on Google. I have degenerative joint disease in my knees. Okay. They had me on a lot of steroids at one point. One of the treatments for my muscles locking up. It does cause it. All right. It says also on Google that if you have a lot of surgeries on your stomach or on your back, it can cause muscle weakness or loss of use of your legs. Some 1% is permanent, and others it takes a while to get the use of your legs. Muscle weakness and then loss of use of moving your legs. We having stomach surgery or back surgery because they're cutting the muscles, the nerves. Okay, it does happen and it is common. Okay. Now it also says that with degenerative joint disease, if you have swelling in your legs, that it can push out your knees out of place and make it impossible to walk while there's swelling in your legs. It is achievable but difficult to learn to walk while you have swelling on your legs. It is achievable but difficult. And over time, rebuilding up the muscles and the tendons around your knees, it is an effective way of controlling it and keeping your joints firm and in place. And it is a common practice of how to do it and how to fix it. But must always be kept up with exercise. Okay, it's right on Google. I uploaded it to the KA space HA Facebook. Okay. So that people would see the evidence that this is how they do treat it. Some idiot guy said, well, we all know that she uploaded all the things that it said from Google, that this is how they actually do treat it, and it does happen, but no one's believing it. Well, dumbass, when it says on Google that gasoline is flammable, don't have an open match around it, because it will blow up. That's what it actually will. And where I look up laws that people can't do things, and it gives the laws. Google and the internet is an amazing place where back in my day you used to have to go to the library and use indexes and then different books to even find other ones, to find other laws. You can do it at the touch of your finger. Ask them what is a jail sentence for this, and it'll come right up what the jail sentence is and the law that provides for it. It's amazing. I put that up on the internet so people know what happened to me cannot happen. It is so absurd in Twilight Zone. It should have never, ever happened. Do we understand each other? Ever in this life? Okay. So, on that recorded line, he said, I want you to give me a real reason why they're trying to, why the FBI should help you. I said, they try to kill me. So, they've tried to kill me, so give me a real reason. Like, murder is not good enough. The other agent said, well, we could always use the tape of Weird with Yourself, the shower scene in the other room. Nobody knew about. And he said we could always use Pete's tape, a Weird with Yourself. I don't even know who Pete is today. The only Pete I knew was my brother Medina, and I had seen him in years when I talked to him on the phone. I said, what are you talking about? Photoshopped a washing by some rapist Dave hired. Some drug dealer. I said, what are you talking about? Photoshop a washing in the shower in the other room. He said, stop, you don't know. And he said something else, I've never met him. I said, what are you talking about? He said, stop, she don't know. I bet she's going to say she didn't know anything about this. Psychiatrist for sexual disorders or wanting your brother. At that point, I almost yelled at you. Why don't you stop lying? As you were chuckling at me. You sounded like a crazy damn fool. I said, what are you talking about? Stop, she don't know. I said, I don't even know who you're talking about. Dear God, I have never had to see a psychiatrist for a sexual disorder and never wanted my brother. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. He's laughing at me. Give me a real reason. Well, my brother-in-law Craig worked under Dick Cheney at the Pentagon. I describe him. He said, okay. He said, first of all, have you talked to any law enforcement about threats on your life? I said, the only two officers I talked to was August 8 of 18 at midnight. I had a light in the security system. They came out and said, looked like an alien orb, angry spirit. Told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. And you're like, and what did you say? You're kidding, right? And I said, no. They didn't want bothered. And then that agent said, do you know if Dave has a girlfriend? I never caught him. Starts laughing with the other guy. She said she never caught him. Dave verified it December 9th, 18. Never caught him. Why is that funny? Never caught him with anyone. Okay. And then you offer to take me and leave me somewhere with no money, have no money to start. Then you offer me the informant case. If you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, you could open an informant program. It comes with $5,000 a month. I said, I can do that. I'm loaning the money on the card today. You will have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you, and only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. Admit to no wrongdoing and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone, I'll tell everyone you're crazy, the FBI won't help you. Uh, and, but if you need help, the chief of police of Canton is my best friend. And he's a really good man and you can trust him. And he'll always make sure the Canton police always protect you. I told my friend Walter Moss from the Stark County Prosecutor's Office, he laughed till he had tears in his eyes. Chuckling. He said, first of all, the police know they can't go along with any of that, but listing you informant with money and immunity. You get the money for work and immunity for working the case and only for working the case. That agent is only a higher police officer. He doesn't even have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. No judge can sign it because it's illegal. Oh, I Googled it. What is a jail sentence for an FBI agent saying that you wouldn't get your money or you would not be protected for saying anything? Because due to the freedom of speech, only a judge in a jury trial can put a gag order on you. You don't even have the authority. You can't make a court order. It's blackmail. And it is extortion out of government funds. It is tampering with a witness, tampering with evidence, and obstruction to justice for both. Okay? And it can go into attempted murder and aiding and abetting crimes. That's how much he can't tell me. I can't say anything. Can't be in a court or no judge can sign it. Criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, and police. You can't talk to you that way. No, he can't. It's a federal crime. Battery, obstruction, tampering, blackmail. Can't withhold my money either. Can't bully me into a false statement. Same thing. Okay? You can't tell anybody they can't help me. You don't have the authority for any of that. Can't be in a court order because you can't say it. No judge can sign it. Okay? The FBI still owes me all that money. See, that's where other people said the police have to know that agent does not have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. Can't tell anybody they can't help her. He can't withhold her money. They have to know that it's a federal crime for him to even say it. And they're all saying he's the one that stole all our money. And why haven't they arrested him? That's a good question, because Agent John, if you really are stealing from cases and victimizing victims, I'm sorry, but you do need arrested. You're as dangerous as the criminals that are doing it. If this isn't an act, my God, they do need to arrest you. I have prayed for you and prayed for you. You do what's right. See, that's one thing. I'm not you. I'm not these people. I chose to be a good person when I was young. I chose to be the person I am. I chose to be a good person. See, there's a difference. I chose to be a good person. I must die to save my family. That's where the officers work my case. Speak so highly of me. I need a new name and social for me and Carl. A new place to live. Medical cards for both of us. And I like my money. You do realize, Agent John, where you bullied me that bad? They're sending it to police stations. And investigators are showing up how they're sending it. And they're telling everybody you took a payoff. They are going after you. I have prayed for you. I will pray for you again tonight. Officer Mark, Officer John, I need your help. I am being stalked again. I don't even know what these people are doing. Even my friend Walter, even years ago, said, Karen, what are these people doing? Why don't they just leave you alone? They've hired him. He can't let me live and be happy. It's one thing, these abusive men, they want you dead, or they want you with nothing and destroyed before they let you go. They're nothing but pure evil. It's not love, that's hate. My sweet husband, I have now. I always tell everybody, I am so lucky I married my best friend. I've had to protect him, I've had to move and hide him. And he is 20 years older than me. But you know, at this age, we're not looking to have a bunch of kids. We're just there for each other and enjoying each other's companionship and enjoying life. It's what Dave should have with me. Instead, he fled the country and lost everything. But Officer John, Officer Mark, I am being stalked like crazy. I told you the Texas group is still around me. There's Texas plates today. Most of the Muslim and hijabs and the Middle Eastern men are in Fairlawn Summit Mall and Medina area. There are some down here. The Florida is in New Philadelphia, East Canton, Delroy, and Carrollton, including the fake FBI agent that raped and tortured me. I've seen him. Okay. They're getting set up down there. Those people have no idea what's coming for them. You need to tell them people's bank accounts will be where they got into thousands here. They'll do it there. They'll get in people's homes. They'll tape them on or wherever and fraud schemes on them. They better hope and pray they don't start grabbing and selling people down there. It's a cartel where they already raped and savaged this area. They've moved south now. You might want to get set up down there to help protect them and find out what they're doing. And I'd like to know why they wanted that land in Delray, where they said Will wanted Carl's farm. Oh, we didn't get it. But they said some single guy bought the whole rest of the street, cost him $1.8 million. I want to find out who bought it. And the others. Get the idea. It's supposed to be some attorney's office. Some lady said that lady that's running around lying, that she had already told her, leave me alone. You need to arrest her. Give me her name. Just give it to me. Give me the attorney's office. I'm telling you, I made them a promise. I will put them up on every social media that they're human traffickers and what they did to me. I will call the news, have the news in their face. I will call the Bar Association. They will not be attorneys after the first day. I will sue them for everything they got. I will put them up on human trafficking sites. If you lost your child in Ohio or family member, these are part of the people that sold your family with the drug cartel. We'll leave it at that. I made you promises of how I'll handle this. And I will put it out there and I will warn everybody I can find about them, so no one else gets hurt and everybody that sees them knows what they're up to. Now, Officer John, Officer Mark, I need my money. I need out of here. They are stalking me like crazy. And I don't know why. And they keep saying, we want her to have nothing. We don't even want her to have a home. We don't want her to have a car. Their deal with Dave was to scare me out of everything for the divorce. It was over 9/18/19. What they're doing now, they are so afraid that Agent John will give me my money that they want it. They want it. Everybody has been saying he stole it. Someone needs to arrest him. All the investigators had said it was a scam. I need you to go to him. And he does realize this whole thing was they were trying to scam him out of money, right? They set him up to go to jail because Strange hated the government. This was all against the FBI. For them to steal from the government. Like some guy said, it really was all them to steal from the government? This whole thing was? Yeah, because they could have killed me at any time. They were bringing in, stabbing me with hypnotic drugs as I walked by. Thinking, ow, what bit me? Huh? Go in and sit down, room, go to Disney. I'm like, they could have kidnapped me, did a home invasion, found my body somewhere else. They didn't. They scared me and they called the FBI. Walked immediately in there with their scam to extort money, have them open a case, and then steal all the money from it. They were in there to trick him all the money, thinking he was a big dumbass. That's why they publicly mock him, call him a coward. August 5th, 25. Officer Mark, Officer John, I need you to talk to Agent John. Or whatever agent's over my case. Me and Carl need out of here. We need new names and socials. Medical cards. I like my money. And I don't care if we don't go far, as long as we have new names and socials, they won't be able to find us. Don't go far though. I'm gonna upload that